welcome to the Shelley Studio. Today I'm working in my Collections of Curiosities book. This is pages 24, 25, 26, and 27. And of course sped up so that it's not too long. But this, number 24, it was created on October 14th. That was the day of the eclipse. I didn't have like a complete ring of fire for my view, but it was pretty darn close. If I'd have driven about an hour or so from my house, I would have gotten a total ring of fire, but I just went in the backyard and viewed it. But so that's what inspired this page, and I did this that day, that evening. And so I just used a couple of circles to try and create the eclipse. And I've got this pale yellow going down, putting quite a few coats to cover up the background. Trying to get that real glow. I think I end up going in with a lighter color because it was just too yellow. And really the sun is so bright, it's like white. So yeah, I think I come in with some white later. But I was trying to figure out how to make this a little bit more interesting than just a circle within a circle. So I started Googling things about star charts and astrological signs, and I found a birth chart, astrological chart, and so I end up adding a little bit of that. I did it for my birthday. This book is becoming very personal. It's got me in it more than normal, I think, because I photocopied my hand in a previous one. I think and I did a map of my neighborhood. So yeah, it's becoming a lot more personal than I expected. I mean, I even have photocopies of plants from my backyard, a silhouette of me and my cousin. So, and in the future, yeah, you get my face, sort of. Yeah, I can't wait to see the footage. I haven't seen the footage on all the rest of it. I have completed the book, but I haven't seen the footage past this point. And yeah, I hope it turns out because it's very interesting. So I added some of that color shift to darken the moon part, which is, in reality, it's completely blacked out because the sun is behind it. And you can't look at it with your eyes. You have to look through these special glasses. So yeah, so I'm just adding the color shift and a little bit of black. I mix it together, trying to get a real dark edge, trying to get a strong contrast is what I'm hoping for here. And I think that's when I decide it's too yellow. It needs to be white. So I pulled out some white. And I'm just going to add it. And I think it improves it. I think the white is better. It was a better choice. You'll have to tell me what you think. Do you think it's better white? Or did you like the yellow better? It still has a yellowish tinge to it, though, I think. I'm sorry if my my desk is moving. I need a new surface to create on. This one, I've been doing it for so long, and it's getting a little weak and wiggly. It wiggles a lot more than it used to. Oh, look, see, I'm even putting a little warm glow to it. Yeah, did you guys see the eclipse from where you are? It was really cool to be able to see that. Trying to fix my edges with my new favorite white pen. It's a Sakura, but it's one I hadn't used before, and it flows really well, so I really like it. Hopefully I will treat it nice and it will last for a while. I did copy the link on my previous video. I'll make sure it's on this video too, to that pen. And this is a different one, but that's for filling in the big spaces. There we go. Yeah, that's much more bright, don't you think? All right, so here's the astrological chart I was talking about. It's a birth chart. I wanted this to be mainly about the eclipse, so I don't put all of this in. I decided to put the grid chart part in, and I put there's a little section that has the birth chart, and then has the birthday and the location. Like, I think it even has the latitude and longitude on there. Like, I put in the address of where I was born. I didn't have the hour, so it's not 100% accurate. Because I'm sure my mama has it somewhere. Is the hour you're born on your birth certificate or just the day? So I think I have my birth certificate somewhere. But, so I didn't want the whole white of the grid on there. So I cut out pieces that had symbols on them. And I don't 100% know what all of that means. But it was kind of fun to do. Boom, done. I add a little bit of some gold that was sitting on my table just to dinge that up a little bit. I didn't want the bright white detracting from my eclipse. So the next page number 25, is the page that has the spiral on it. And I didn't want to cover that up. And it also has the bird in the background. How many pages? I think I'm going to end up with a lot of pages with birds on it. I'm sure that's some sort of, that means something. Like the number of ravens that you see, or I don't know, some mystical sort of reason. But I'm using my Faber-Castell pens to fill in the spaces to make the bird show up a little bit more without losing the spiral. Oh, look, I found something. Trying to find. Well, it says that the number of ravens means something, but it's not telling me what. Maybe I will. Okay, so 1, raven, is a sign of spiritual knowledge. 2, a sign of friendship. 3, a sign of a fresh start. 4 means to pay attention to the universe. 5 is a sign of grace in the Bible. And 6, the sign of leadership. So when we're all said and done with this book, we're going to have to count how many birds. I mean, they're technically ravens and crows, but for this experiment, we'll say they're all the same. Oh, here's another one. Let's see. 1 is a sign of friendship. 2 is love. 3 is if you see. People believe that if you see 2 ravens staring at you, the spirits of your dead parents have come to check on you. It shows that you are not the only one. Interesting. Very interesting. So, because I wanted the bird's head to show up, I'm going over the area with blue. Kind of grays out the red, so it doesn't really look blue, but creates a little bit of a shadow and will help it show up a little bit there, I think. That one took a little bit of work to get that bird to show up. I think I go along the wings with the blue on the edges too to emphasize them as well. So have y'all been watching my Collection of Curiosities videos? What do you think? Are you enjoying them? Like, probably not me yammering on, but I don't have any copyright free music to use, so we talk, because I don't like dead silence. The bottom area by the feet is a little bit jumbled, so I leave that a little bit hazy. Not too much detail. For how little is on this particular page, it sure takes a lot to get it to get it to show up. Every time those markers dry, they lighten up, so I want to put in another coat. I do like the effect of my gel prints. They're very grungy and splattery looking, which was really cool. I will have to try that again. I'm trying to lighten around the outside of the bird. So here I pull out, I tried the markers, but they weren't lightening things. So now I'm going in with some colored pencils. These are my Prismacolor colored pencils. Just to lighten around the bird. I needed a before and after shot so you could see the difference. And that was page 25. I'm over there sharpening my pencil into the garbage can. I'm going down here where the looks like ground, right? And adding a little colored pencil there. So there it is, pages 24, 25. And then we'll move on to page 26. Oh yeah, and little close-up pictures. See the grungy paper? I like it. I'm gonna have to do a whole bunch of printing that way. Anyway, on to the next one. Now this one, I didn't want to do much to it, and I had these dragonflies. They've been hanging out on my desk since near the beginning. I did a YouTube short today. Well, by the time you see it, it'll be a couple weeks ago, but of these being dried. And they sort of flutter across. It's kind of funny. So I'm just using my new white pen and putting a quote from Lord of the Rings in here. And it says, I'm trying to make it fancy handwriting, so it's hard to read. But it says, some believe it is only great power that can hold evil in check. But that is not what I have found. I have found that it is the small, everyday deeds of ordinary folk that keep the darkness at bay. Small acts of love and kindness. And that was Gandalf. And I'm not sure which Lord of the Rings book that was from, but it sounds magical. It's interesting. I think it belongs in my collection of curiosities. So that's why it's there. Now, for the next one, page 27, I went back to the Inktober prompts to find something, and there was toad. And I'm like, well, the colors of this are a little toad-y, maybe. So and I've never drawn a toad. So I looked online how to draw a toad and drew this toad. Well, his hind leg's a little wonky, but I was following their step-by-step instructions instead of just looking at one and drawing it myself, which may have gone better. But so I'm sketching this in charcoal. That way I can just cover it up or rub it out with whatever product I end up using on it. So I've got my toad. Just fixing his face a little bit there. And yeah, I look at that leg, I'm like, I have no idea how those instructions got me such a weird back leg. Because that's not what their picture looked like. Alright, so I'm going to outline it with my black pen. And this is the brush pen, black brush pen. He's a very fat toad, very chubby toad. Yeah, it's when I get back to the back leg, I'm like, I don't know where these lines are supposed to go. Something looks really wrong back there. Oh, so I put spots on his back. I thought he needed some spots. And then I think I go in and shade behind. Maybe, oh, I do his eyes first. Now I take the gray and go around it. And this one has a little bit more white, more actual paper on the surface, and when there's actual paper on the surface, that gray really sticks to it, so then it looks pretty dark. I guess this is sort of a form of negative painting, kind of. Or it's just shadowing. I think I end up coming in with some colored pencils on the toad to brighten him up a bit. Yeah, I'm looking at the leg trying to figure out how it's supposed to work. So yeah, I just picked a few colored pencils and just kind of lightening up his belly, his underside. Put a little red in his mouth for his tongue. So while I was thinking about this toad, I had to figure out how it's magical. So I looked up toad magic, and I know they do like witches potions, you know, I think they talk about toads. Anyways, I'd rather have him alive than in a potion, right? But the toad symbolizes fertility, immortality, wealth, and a connection to other worlds. Thought that was interesting. Yeah, so that is the fourth one. You'll have to tell me which one you like the best. Not by effort, just which one do you think looks the best. Some that were effortless, like my quote and the dragonfly. I really like that one. But it was effortless, really. I just had to find something interesting to go on there. And then the toad took a long time, but I'm kind of proud of my toad, except for his back leg. I was surprised he showed up on that page, and yeah. Anyway, this was a lot of fun. If you haven't seen my other videos in this series, there'll be a playlist linked in the description box below. So check that out. And yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll have some pictures at the end. I hope you have an awesome day.